Hi, Deepa Rani from Transform Life Programs. Love and light. Friends, what's the importance of cooking? I'm asking this question at a time when most of us have turned cooking into a hobby, into a specialty. Particularly after the lockdown started, how many of us are cooking innovatively, exchanging recipes? How many of us, along with putting the food into our mouth and our stomach, are also putting it as our status? Many of us, right? Many of us. What do we actually post as status or share with friends and family on social media? Things that we enjoy. So it means that we are enjoying cooking. So this is a very, very important thing because one day you may not read, it's okay. Maybe you can do things, you can skip things, but eating and sleeping, of course, having bath, and now washing hands at the regular intervals is very, very important. We cannot skip it. So, when we have to eat, we have to cook. So, how much had the apps, the ready service, dial in service, delivery service spoiled us? We had kind of detached from the art of culinary skills. Yes, cooking is an art, it is a skill, and all that you need to do is you have to have interest. That is the only prerequisite. So, when you have interest, what we do is we tend to innovate, we tend to search for recipes, look for things, and start doing it. Today, every family is cooking as a team. Men who had never entered kitchen have started exploring. And men who knew cooking but were busy with their routine are finding time to get back to this very special skill of cooking. Yeah, women most of the times balance the cooking at home, and what had become a drudgery, a monotony, is now becoming important. With time, we savor food. We don't gobble it up. We don't just push it down the throat. Now we are having the time and space to savor every flavor, every texture that goes into the mouth, and we are also exploring, innovating, and also adding finesse to the skills that we already knew. So, what is so important about cooking? Yeah, I told you cooking is very important because we cannot get away from eating food. Whatever type of fast you are doing, maybe one meal you might skip, two, three, four. That's it. Then we got to eat. Unless you are on a specific restriction for some purpose, we got to eat. Or where medically you are being given intravenous fluids, we got to eat. Along with that, yeah, eating everybody is doing. But what is this skill teaching us? This skill of cooking teaching us? How to balance things. You know, balance is a very important thing to harmonize everything in life. Agree? Of course. What all can you balance when you're cooking? Yeah, you can take a wild guess. What all can you balance when you're cooking? Okay, shall we take the sense organs one by one? The first one that comes is the vision, eyes. Okay, when you look at whatever is cooked and put out as a spread, it's got to be colorful. You can't cook a curry which is green in color and a gravy green in color and a pulao green in color. It kind of levels everything into green. There is no green theme. Even if you have a green theme, you got to balance it. Probably a red gravy, a green curry, a yellow dal. It looks colorful on the plate. All right, it's a balance of colors. Not only from the aesthetic point of view, we got to eat different colored vegetables in a meal. Right? For example, beans, um, okra, greens, peas are all green in color. Cooking all these on the same day in the same meal, yeah, it has nutrients, but you got to have a balance of the red of beetroot, the white of a pumpkin or the cabbage family, a carrot or some other colors, the purple of a brinjal. Okay, we got to have colors on our plate. So this is one part, balancing it with colors. And you also learn how to bring that color combination like an artist. An artist knows what color to paint, the main character there. If he's doing a portrait, what is the background he's got to give? Whether he wants a contrast, whether he wants a blend in, right? A person who's always appearing on camera knows what kind of outfit to wear, what kind of background to have, right? So you learn that. That is the first sense. Okay, now let's go to the second sense, smell. Sometimes even when you're walking across the street, the smell, the aroma of food from somebody's house can be intoxicating, too inviting. The tadka that people do when people garnish it, the smell of onions frying can be really, really inviting at times. Agreed? So you got to balance it with the pungent flavors, with the soft, subtle uh, smells, aromas, and you got to cook it. Right? So that is about the smell. Food has to smell good. Okay? And now the third one is taste, the tongue, which touches and feels the food. So it has to be a blend of one tangy thing, one bland thing, one spicy thing. It's got to be an order, especially if you're having guests over. Because somebody might like their food spicy, somebody cannot take spice. So you have one dish which is tangy, one dish which is not. One dish which is a dry vegetable, one dish which has gravy in it. So somewhere you got to balance and cater to the taste of everybody, right? So that is how you balance the taste, all right? So the main three ingredients. And now comes the skill of how much to boil what. Sometimes, let us say you are cooking vegetable gravy or vegetable sambar. Each vegetable sometimes will have a different cooking time. Pumpkin cooks very fast. Sweet pumpkin, if you cook it too much, it just gives away. And the whole dish becomes like a porridge. Beans and turnips need to be cooked a bit more, right? So carrots and peas get cooked quicker. So you got to balance it, parboil some of the vegetables, then add the rest, cook for a whistle or cook them separately. You got to know how to do it. Each person has a different way of doing it. And then you have to blend it. Blend in. The greatest skill is in adding the right amount of chili or pepper or whatever you're using to make it spicy, and salt. That is the key element. So that is the part of cooking. Yeah, cooking is important, but how is it relevant to our lives? When you cook, you understand how to balance people in your life. You might have heard the story where situations are explained by this metaphor, where a man puts carrots, eggs, and coffee into water and shows his daughter, who's upset and says, I'm not able to handle life. Situations are different. Some situations, when you are in the heat of the situation, makes you soft like the carrot. Some situations make you hard like the egg to face life. Some situation brings the fine flavor like in the coffee. right? So you know that how to balance each situation when you know to apply your skills in cooking. And let us say somewhere something gets very spicy. How do you balance it? Chop some tomatoes and then saute it in a little oil till it becomes soft and boil it with the gravy or whatever. It kind of takes care of the extra spice. If there is too much salt, add a potato and cook for a while. The potato absorbs the extra salt and then throw the potato away. So, these are ways of handling things when cooking is not actually properly blended, right? So, this will kind of help you, give you the skills of thinking how to balance situations in life. Interesting, isn't it? Till I saw all people, all my friends, my family venturing into cooking and exploring cooking, innovating and doing things with the kitchen skills. This perspective never occurred to me. Once it occurred, I thought I will share it with you. So, that is the perspective of cooking. And then, when there is a bit of vegetable, a little bit of curry, a little bit of that, what do? It doesn't suffice for a meal, but you don't want to throw it away. Then you become innovative. That survival instinct comes, and not wasting and having it turn over into a new dish. Boil another potato, mix all this, mash all this, and you can make cutlets out of them, right? You can mash them all up, bring them to a boil, make soup out of them. So you start giving them a new turnover, a facelift kind of a thing. So this skills, like we say, coloring in the kindergarten is not just to show the parents and take a star. It is meant for the motoring skills of the child's fingers and the hand, right? So also this cooking skills, let us hope, opens up our balancing skills, waiting skills in life, so that we start applying it. When I say waiting skills, if you're making dosa or the South Indian famous roti, when you put it on the tawa, you should not put the flame full blast because it gets darkened very fast but doesn't taste good. When you do it, cook it on medium or low flame, it gets cooked evenly, golden brown, and it tastes better, it's crispier. So the weight is also important. Alright? So, can we apply these culinary skills to balance and harmonize our emotions, our lives? Let's take the skills we are using in our day to day life, and then the very important thing is clean up after you cook. Sometimes we leave the vegetable peels, we leave the utensils unattended, which is a very bad thing. That means in our lives, we are not wrapping up things, we leave things abruptly, which is not good for us or the receiver. And presentation, present it beautifully, set in a contrast. If you are making something which is dark in color, use a light colored plate. If you're making something which is white in color, use a dark colored plate. Present it well. Never ever bring the whole pan and leave it and say eat from this. Presentation is very, very important. Okay, so if you're not doing that, why you're not able to take your business to the next level, why you're not able to break through in your career, is because you lack presentation skills. So innovate on where you can blend your culinary skills into your life skills, and do leave a comment to me of what you felt and what more can be added to this. Thank you so much for joining me. Deepa Rani from Transform Life Programs. Bon Appetite. Cook something really special and share it as a feedback. Love and light.